Meghan a geriatric mother. The family claims and states that Meghan had a hysterectomy. How can a woman with a hysterectomy be pregnant? And most of all, why did the royal family go along with this? And what's going to happen now that this has come out? This is a punishable crime. This is fraud in the highest levels.
Things just got a whole load worse for Meghan Markle because her sister Samantha ain't going anywhere.
I do believe because there are no delivery certificates.
People loved calling her the modern-day Cinderella, but the truth is, the fairy tale image never really fit. Meghan Markle didn't just slip into the royal role. She pushed her way into it, cracked it in the process, and somehow turned the broken pieces into a storyline she could sell to Netflix.
In my opinion, she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
From the glitz of Hollywood to the scrutiny of Buckingham Palace, Meghan managed to flip a royal love story into a non-stop headline machine, casting herself as both the wounded heroine and the mastermind behind the drama.
Did you make Kate cry?
No, the reverse happened.
Every speech she delivered, every emotional moment, every supposedly private confession seemed perfectly timed for maximum impact. You almost have to appreciate how flawlessly choreographed her public image really was.
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that is.
But behind the soft lighting and carefully posed photos, Samantha Markle, the sister who knows her history better than anyone, insists Meghan has been hiding a secret she guards more tightly than anything in the royal vault.
People think her kids are fake. They think they're AI.
I'm going to quote Tom Bauer by saying, he said, look, we all laughed at Samantha and she was right. And everything she said has come true.
A secret big enough to shake everything. The pregnancies, the titles, and even the royal succession itself.
And there's a very big difference. It was deliberate.
And when Samantha urged people to look closely at the timeline, the internet listened. What they uncovered didn't just spark curiosity. It ignited an online wildfire. Because if Samantha's suggestion is true, then Meghan's picture-perfect royal motherhood might be nothing more than a polished illusion built for public consumption.
This scandal comes as no surprise. Speculation about the children has been simmering for...
So get ready, because this isn't the polished palace tale you've been shown. It's the version of Meghan Markle the royal family never expected her own sister to reveal. And once you notice the cracks in this glossy fairy tale, you'll never see the Duchess the same way again.
Silence everybody and just produce a DNA sample.
Every royal saga needs a villain, but Samantha Markle refuses to accept the role Meghan tried to give her. For years, she watched her half-sister rise from a small-time TV actress to an international duchess, smiling for the cameras while quietly rewriting her past as if she had always belonged in high society. Through all of it, Samantha kept quiet until that silence began to feel like betrayal. Because while Meghan preached empathy on stage, she cut off her family behind the scenes, ignoring phone calls from her wheelchair-bound father and the sister who once defended her from school bullies.
When she said, I lost my father, we knew that she didn't lose our dad. She iced our...
Eventually, Samantha reached her breaking point. If Meghan can rewrite the past, then I'll remind people what actually happened, she said. Then she dropped her cryptic warning. People need to look at the timeline. No anger, no insults, just that one line. But everyone understood exactly what she meant. Meghan's pregnancy timeline never quite added up. The dates, the photos, the secrecy, there were inconsistencies everywhere. Even as Meghan's PR team tried to smother the rumors, Samantha seemed almost satisfied, as if she knew the public was finally noticing what she'd been hinting at.
You had those things. It would be very easy just to put them out there and say, this is what happened. This is what it is.
But that was only the start. Once people actually examined the dates surrounding Meghan's supposed miracle pregnancies, the confusion became impossible to ignore. In October 2018, Kensington Palace announced her first pregnancy, just 5 months after the wedding. Sweet, right? Except there were no hospital pictures, no confirmed delivery staff, and no witnesses who ever saw her enter labor. Then came the infamous folding bump video, which the internet called either an illusion or something far more staged. When baby number 2 arrived in 2021, the pattern repeated. No hospital sightings, delayed paperwork, and carefully timed public silence. Old reports even resurfaced claiming Meghan had undergone a surgery years earlier that would have made natural pregnancies impossible. For many, the coincidences stopped looking innocent. Samantha's warning wasn't gossip, it was a trail of clues. Because if that surgery happened, every public moment since 2018 might be part of a much bigger royal performance.
Doctor has come forward and has absolutely revealed, and you're going to listen to her. She has absolutely revealed and confirmed that Rachel Meghan Markle was never pregnant, never gave birth to any
Then came the bump clips. especially the one where her belly appeared to fold when she bent down. Some dismissed it as a camera trick, others whispered about padding. The second pregnancy followed the same suspicious pattern. No hospital photos, delayed birth records, and a carefully managed media vacuum. Everything felt as staged as a movie set hiding a plot twist. Meanwhile, the palace refused to clarify anything. They simply posed for photos and let speculation grow. That's when old reports about Meghan's past medical procedures resurfaced, ones that, if accurate, could make natural pregnancy impossible. For many people, the timeline no longer seemed like coincidence, and Samantha's warning suddenly sounded like the first piece of a long-hidden puzzle. But the next shock didn't come from the palace. It came from a woman known only as DL. No title, no spotlight, just 2 letters. Hidden behind NDAS and offshore agreements for years, she finally stepped forward, claiming she wasn't just aware of what happened. She was the woman who actually carried the royal children. Her story rattled the internet. She described secretive medical facilities in Beverly Hills, guarded entrances, and code names that sounded like something from a spy thriller. She said Meghan and Harry always came separately, disguised, and never signed anything under their real names. DL claimed that after each procedure, she was ordered to vanish. No photos, no record, no acknowledgement. She was paid through layered shell companies and referred to herself as the ghost mother, someone who existed only in the shadows of a fairy tale. When she finally spoke, her voice shook, not with fear, but with anger. "They treated me like an object," she said, like I wasn't even human. It wasn't a tabloid stunt, but it directly challenged the narrative the royals had built. And DL didn't stop at telling her story. She brought evidence, not screenshots from social media, but documents that would make even veteran reporters stop and take notes. She revealed intake forms from clinics dated 2018 and 2020, ultrasound images labeled with coded identities, and digital payment trails routed through 3 layers of shell companies. Every document matched the timelines of Meghan's pregnancies. Appointment times aligned with public appearances from the palace, almost as though someone had stitched the schedule together to hide the truth. Then she shared encrypted emails, initials hinting at royal aliases, and NDAs threatening legal ruin if she ever spoke out. DL claimed the payments abruptly stopped halfway through the second pregnancy, and silence was supposed to be her final compensation. But this time, she refused to disappear. Her evidence spread online faster than the palace could react. Discussion boards erupted, hashtags surged, and reporters scrambled to verify anything they could, though confirming it was nearly impossible. Still, the coincidences were too sharp to dismiss. DL ended her reveal with one sentence that froze social media. "If I'm lying, I'll take a DNA test live on TV." That challenge shifted the entire conversation. Suddenly, it wasn't rumor or hearsay, it was a demand for proof. And when the palace stayed silent, the public asked the question everyone had been avoiding. What if she's telling the truth? The moment DL issued that challenge, the internet exploded. "I'll take a DNA test on live TV." 16 words that lit up social media like fireworks over Buckingham Palace. News outlets rushed to cover it, hashtags took over timelines, and comment sections erupted. Some praised DL as brave, others claimed she was desperate for fame. But for every doubter, someone else whispered, "What if she's right?" Investigations sprang up, talk shows begged for her appearance, and tabloids dangled 6-figure offers. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry remained completely silent. Not a denial, not a clarification, nothing. And that silence was louder than any statement could have been. Then Samantha re-entered the conversation, not confirming or denying anything, but posting a quote from her father, "The truth doesn't fear questions." It was subtle, but it poured gasoline on a fire already burning out of control. Inside the palace, emergency meetings reportedly kicked off. Publicists scrambled, and insiders whispered that discussions about legitimacy had begun behind closed doors. What started as a sister's warning had crossed into constitutional territory. Because if DL's claims proved true, if the DNA didn't match, it wouldn't just change a family narrative. It could shake the monarchy to its core. British succession law still includes an old requirement. Every royal heir must be born of the body. Sounds outdated, but it remains central to determining who can inherit the throne. And if DL's story was ever substantiated, the Sussex children might not meet that criteria. One unverified claim now carried the weight to trigger a constitutional crisis. Sources inside the palace claimed frantic calls were made to legal teams, along with quiet efforts to stop journalists from asking dangerous questions. Lawyers debated whether modern surrogacy laws could override centuries-old royal customs. Politicians avoided reporters entirely. The public became divided. Some insisted Meghan deserved privacy. Others demanded answers from an institution built on heredity. Conspiracy theorists fueled both sides, and even mainstream commentators acknowledged the stakes were enormous. For the first time, the issue wasn't simply Meghan versus Samantha, it was whether the monarchy could handle another public scandal. According to insiders, palace strategy turned to protecting the institution at all costs, even if someone had to take the fall. But their silence, meant to calm the situation, only made speculation explode. As people searched old photos and announcements for clues, Samantha appeared on talk shows with a calm confidence that felt unnerving. She avoided insults, spoke about accountability, and hinted she had more evidence if the palace tried to silence her again. Meanwhile, the media frenzy became uncontrollable. Paparazzi dug into hospital archives, attorneys argued over privacy laws, and royal historians admitted they'd never witnessed a public debate this polarized. Every unanswered question became a headline, every rumor a potential revelation. Meghan and Harry's silence left people divided. Supporters saw strength, critics saw guilt, and everyone else felt lost in a fog of PR. Then Samantha delivered one final statement: no spotlight, no theatrics. Just her in a dim studio answering one simple question. Do you regret saying all this? She paused, looked ahead, and replied, regret only if the truth stops being the truth. The line landed hard. It wasn't angry, it was exhausted. She spoke of plans that never happened, calls that never came, and a sister who built a public fairy tale by trimming out the parts she didn't want people to see. Her tone wasn't vengeful, it was steady, sharp, almost clinical. She said she wasn't chasing fame or sympathy, only wanting the truth to be louder than the lies. As the interview ended, Samantha added one last line: history will remember who told the truth first. The clip went viral instantly. Supporters hailed her courage, critics accused her of cruelties, but no one looked away. Because whether people stood with Meghan or against her, everyone recognized one thing: Samantha's words had pierced through the royal narrative. And for the first time, the fairy tale didn't end with a perfect photo or a triumphant speech. It ended with a question no one could answer. What remains now? A fractured family, a monarchy dodging tough questions, and a sister who refuses to stay silent. Maybe Samantha is right. Maybe she's angry. Maybe it's both. But one thing is certain: the royal image now has cracks no PR team can patch. In this kind of battle, truth becomes a weapon and reputation becomes the casualty. Meghan, Samantha, the palace, all of them are bleeding in their own way. But before anyone decides who to believe, they need to revisit how this all began. Our previous deep dive exposed how Meghan's pregnancy narrative unraveled after Candace Owens revealed shocking evidence that had royal insiders scrambling. It ties every detail of the story together: the dates, the secrecy, the documents, and it changes everything. If today felt explosive, the next chapter will be even bigger. So before you go, tell me one thing in the comments. Do you think this whole story is real or just drama? And make sure you hit subscribe to Bella Breaks Down so you never miss what comes next.